Hi, my name is Devin Brown, and I'm going to talk to you about Sig Figs. Basically, what you're doing with Sig Figs is you're technically just adding up the numbers, right? You're adding up the number of numbers to find how many Sig Figs it has. But there are rules. Four main rules. One, you have zeros and non-zeros. Non-zero numbers count. You can count those towards the Sig Figs. Rule number two. Zeros that are in between two non-zeros count. Number three, when you have a zero at the end of something, like on a decimal, on the right side of the decimal, like 0.30, that would be two sig figs, the 3 and the 0 after it. And then we move on to, last but not least, the zeros, like leading zeros and then trailing zeros. Leading zeros are the zeros ahead of a non-zero number. Something like 0.03. The 0.0 is the leading zero. Does not count. That number would be one sig fig. And then something like 30, that would be one sig fig as well for the same reason, except it's a trailing zero, not a leading zero. Um, uh, and then we move on to multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. You know how to round, and when you round sig figs, it's basically the same principle, except you're rounding to get to a certain number of sig figs. So you're not always rounding the last digit. You might be rounding 100, the hundreds place, tens place, whatever it calls for. And for addition, let's just start with addition. They all have the same principle. Let's say you have 5.0 plus 6. No, plus 10. You would need to have one sig fig. Because of that 10, you have to go with the lowest sig fig. So you would add that, you get 15, and you would have to round up to get 20, which is one sig fig. And you apply that method of trying to get your answer to be the lowest sig fig out of the two given values, or out of all the given values. And that's basically it. And now you know sig figs.